You didn't plan to be in debt? No one does. You don't wake up one morning and say, "Today feels like a good day to lose financial freedom." And yet, millions of people slowly drift into it, not through one bad decision, but through hundreds of small ones, quiet ones, convenient ones. Debt doesn't usually arrive like a storm. It arrives like a subscription, a swipe, a tap, a why not. And that's what makes it dangerous, because the behaviors that create debt feel completely normal. Here's the truth most people miss. Debt is rarely about emergencies. It's about defaults. The default to upgrade, the default to finance, the default to reward ourselves. Before we've actually built anything to reward. A streaming service you forgot to cancel. Ordering food because the day felt long. Replacing something that still worked just because a newer version exists. None of these feel like financial decisions. But together, they form a pattern. And patterns are powerful. Because once something becomes a habit, your brain stops questioning it. You stop deciding. You start repeating. Maybe you've lived this. You get a raise. You feel proud. You should. So you upgrade your life a little. A better apartment, a nicer car, more convenience. You tell yourself it makes sense. You've earned it. And individually, each step does make sense. But over time, those upgrades stop feeling like choices. They become obligations. Fixed expenses don't celebrate your success. They wait for you every month. And suddenly the raise that was supposed to create freedom just created a more expensive version of normal. This isn't just about money. It's about how we're wired. Your brain is designed to prioritize immediate relief over long-term reward. That's not a flaw. That's survival instinct. Thousands of years ago, that instinct kept us alive. Today, it convinces us to buy things we don't need to solve problems we can't see. Stress, boredom, comparison. We don't just spend money, we spend emotions. And the reward feels real, but it fades quickly, leaving only the payment behind. There's another force working quietly in the background, the fear of missing out. You see people traveling, upgrading, living what looks like better lives. And even if you know it's curated, it still nudges you. Just enough to think, maybe I should too. So you keep pace, not realizing many of the people you're trying to keep up with are running the exact same race, financed the exact same way. Change doesn't start with a spreadsheet. It starts with noticing, not judging, not restricting, just noticing. When do you spend the most? After hard days? When you feel behind? When you want to feel productive without actually resting? Most purchases are not about the item. They're about what we hoped it would fix. One of the most powerful things you can do is temporarily stop, not forever, just long enough to hear your own habits. A short spend-in pause, no upgrades, no impulse buys, just the essentials. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Then something surprising happens. Life continues. You adapt. You improvise. You realize how much of your spending was automatic, not necessary. And that awareness, that's where control begins. From there, a simple question changes everything. Does this improve my life, or just interrupt it? That pause, just a few seconds, breaks the loop debt depends on. You're no longer reacting. You're deciding. Most people think the answer is stricter budgeting, but willpower is unreliable. Systems are not. Instead of tracking every dollar, you flip the order. You pay your future first. Savings happen automatically. Debt gets reduced automatically. What remains? You're free to use, without guilt, because the important decisions already happened. No daily discipline required. Just design. At some point, something subtle changes. Your money stops disappearing and starts accumulating. The same compounding force that once worked against you begins working for you, not dramatically at first, quietly, then steadily, then unmistakably. Wealth isn't just a number, it's the ability to choose, to walk away from pressure, to take time when you need it, to make decisions without urgency controlling you. Debt removes options, wealth restores them. And perhaps the most powerful part? When you change these patterns, you don't just change your finances, you change what feels normal. For you, for the people around you, for the ones who learn from watching you. Not because you chased money, but because you stopped leaking it. You don't build wealth by mastering complex strategies. You build it by removing the quiet behaviors that were working against you all along. Debt isn't just something you pay off, it's something you outgrow. Unlearn the defaults. Choose deliberately. Let time start working in your favor again. And slowly, almost invisibly, your life begins to feel lighter,